Daily news. A GoFundMe has been started for a 6-year-old boy who was killed in a hit and run. New businesses are popping up in San Angelo, and more than a few people have been arrested for aggravated assault. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, the time is here to stock up and save on John Deere filters and packaged oil at the South Plains Implement semi-annual sale. Now through August 31st, receive 12% off John Deere oil and filters. Some restrictions do apply, and you can visit their parts department for details. Located at US 67 North at Tractor Trail in San Angelo, or with 18 additional locations, there is a South Plains Implement near you. South Plains Implement, where farm meets family. Starting things off, a GoFundMe for a 6-year-old Andrews boy has been created after he was struck and killed in a hit and run. Vincent Hill had woken up extra early the morning of August 14th and took some bouncy balls outside to jump on his trampoline. He was taking full advantage of the last day of summer, and Vincent's mother believes that one of the balls ended up out in the street and he had gone out to retrieve it when he was struck by a passing motorist. The driver ended up driving off and left the little boy bleeding there in the street, and he did eventually die. He was found with his blanket and his ball in the yard. Hill's mother thanked the medical staff and is asking anyone with information to turn it over to the police. She is also looking for funds to help with her young son's funeral. The GoFundMe is available on sanangelo.com. San Angelo has a one-of-a-kind flower shop now, as Infinity Flowers and Gifts has opened their doors. The special thing is these flowers will not wilt away and die. Kelly Brennan, the owner, said that the flowers at Infinity Flowers and Gifts, the flowers that they sell are made from tapioca root and will stick around forever. She can recreate pretty much any bouquet you bring in, and it will keep for as long as you want it to. Infinity Flowers and Gifts is located at 110A Alexander Street, across from the Whataburger on Sherwood Way. Also, crews have begun working at 6105 Sherwood Way on a new Prosperity Bank location. In the March 2024 building and inspection reports, Prosperity Bank was issued a permit in the amount of $2.5 million to build their new location. Nothing had been done on the land for a while, but now construction crews have begun putting up beams, and the new bank should be open sometime in 2025. Have you downloaded the San Angelo mobile app yet? It's free, and it's the best app in the business. Download it today off the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to stay up to date with news in San Angelo. And 2 individuals were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 46-year-old Christine Kimball allegedly hit a man with an aluminum bat after an argument, and he had the fresh bruise to prove it. She was booked this morning into the Tom Green County Jail and has a $30,000 bond. And before that, Fabian Delgado was arrested for aggravated assault for pointing a rifle at 2 women and beating one of them. He is still in the Tom Green County Jail and is being held on $540,000 bond, as he is a habitual defender. Macario Gomez, Rachel Bustos, and Nathan Burnett have also been arrested over the last couple days for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Into weather, the heat is not letting up. This afternoon and tomorrow, the high is 102 with lows in the mid and upper 70s. On Friday, the high is 103, and then Friday night, the low is 76. The highs over the weekend are 104 and 105 on Saturday and Sunday, and the lows those nights are in the mid 70s. And then next week, the heat really cranks up with 105 on Monday, and then 107 on Tuesday with lows in the mid 70s. When we come back, I went out last weekend to Irion County for their Midnight Madness as pads went on, and then we'll also hear from Coach Tell Rutledge. And then we went out to the DPS office next to the Loop for a back-to-school interview with the Department of Public Safety's Public Information Officer, Justin Baker. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
It's our giant tag sale.
Right now, during our giant tag hail sale, you can get a brand new 2024 Ford Bronco Sport for just $25,999.
Don't miss our giant tag sale, only at Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, Houston, Hart, and Arden Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Hey, James Bellini here with Coach Tell Rutledge of the Irion County Hornets. It's your first year out here in Irion County. What do you think so far?
Man, it's going to be a good year. It's going to be exciting. Got some really good boys, really good kids, talented kids. Great senior bunch, great senior leadership so far from what I've seen. So it's going to be a good year.
And one thing about Irion County is they've had a good football program. Under Coach Coppell, they had a good program. Under Coach Harris, they had a good program. And you do have some of those kids from those two coaches who are still on this team. Now, what is that, just for the leadership on the team, what is happening to Parker Posey and Rutledge? What is having them out there mean for you as the coach?
Oh, it means a lot because, we try to speak things into them and, we say things to the team. And when you start hearing those things echoed on the field, in the practice, not just from other coaches, but from those seniors, those kids, that's when you've got something special.
Right. I asked Parker Posey on the sideline, what do you think of Dave Campbell's putting Water Valley at the top of y'all's district? He said they were being disrespectful.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll use that as bulletin board material. So we've got a long ways until we meet up with those guys, and it's going to be a tough matchup. We just got to take things, 1 week at a time. So we just got to work on us and then let everything else shake out.
All right, last question here. This was the first day full pads.
Yeah.
Y'all did Midnight Madness. What was the point behind doing Midnight Madness? And did you like what you saw from your team out tonight?
Yeah, there were a lot of good things out there. There's a lot of things that need to get addressed, just some fine-tuning, some fundamentals and whatnot. I just like to do it, because it's that first chance, with the UIL rule changes, over the course of the last 10 years or whatever. It's just that first chance to get in pads and actually get to hit. And it's a good thing for the community to come out and see the team. So it's an exciting deal for the community and our team.
Yeah, but you get your first scrimmage next week.
Yeah, finally get to pop somebody else. Yeah, that'll be nice. We got Highland and Grand Falls royalty coming here Friday.
All right. And then just say something to the Irion County community getting fired up for football season this year.
Man, it's going to be a great season. Great kids, great town. Going to be a lot of surprises, a lot of good surprises. These boys are going to go a long way.
All right. This has been Coach Taylor Rutledge, Irion County Hornets. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the Giants and who will never, ever flinch.
Welcome back, everybody. James Bellini here with Sergeant Justin Baker,
Yes, sir.
the Texas Department of Public Safety's
Yes,
PIO for the Concho Valley here.
Yes, sir.
First off, it's back to first. How you doing first?
No, I'm good. I'm great. Yeah, it is. It's what you're about to say. It's busy. It's back to school day and week because there's lots of schools that have already gone back and some schools that are starting back today and others tomorrow. So it's just that busy time of year.
Right. And do y'all see an increase in traffic violations in school zones, or do people know we need to slow down?
There's definitely a tendency for those violations right when school starts back because people have got caught up in the routine, right?
Right.
Summertime, I'm used to going in certain neighborhoods where the lights aren't flashing, and so if you're not really paying attention and all of a sudden those lights are flashing again and you were doing what you normally did with speed or hopefully not using a cell phone, but if you are on that cell phone, you're in violation. And if you're going over that speed limit, which is posted 20 miles per hour or whatever it might be, you got to make sure you're really paying attention this time of year. So, yes, we can see an increase in citations and infractions. But, again, we're trying to get that message out there beforehand to pay attention, reduce those speeds, and obey the laws.
Is it ultimately they're little kids at stake, You're driving around elementary schools, driving around. I know it's 20 at every school in town, and then out of town.
It can vary depending on the location and the flow of traffic. But whether you have a child starting kindergarten or for me a child that's going to be a senior this year,
right.
Everybody has what's relevant to them, what's important for safety for them, for little kids all the way up to seniors in high school because it varies, but. There are so many different topics that you got to discuss with your kids at any age range to think about what you can be doing to make sure you're as safe as possible. And then again, for the motoring public, all those suggestions we want to give to make sure that they're being safe and keeping everybody safe out there.
Right. And it's not just school zones, it's following school buses. I remember out at Christoval, shout out Larry Sanders. This car went to pass on the side where the kids were letting out.
Yeah.
He had to pull this kid back in
Yeah.
by his backpack because he saved the kid's
It
life.
is. It is very dangerous. Again, those routines that people are deer in the headlight, they just get kind of tunnel vision, and next thing you know, they're passing a school bus, and that's just not acceptable. You know, whether you're in a residential neighborhood or out on the highway, you know, you need to know the laws. And if you see those lights flashing, you see the stop sign that's come out, you got to stop. You got to stop behind the bus or in front of the bus, and when you wait till those lights are no longer flashing, you wait till that stop sign's been put away and the bus starts moving again. Now, if you're on a divided highway or you have a barrier, that doesn't apply. But, you know, whether it's Knickerbocker or US 87 right through town that doesn't have that divide, you're going to have to stop, you know. And so it's frustrating because we do troop around the bus, and you'll be in there and you'll actually see it happening and while you're on that bus, and it's scary. And so that's a needless tragedy, and we don't want that happening. And so, yeah, definitely pay attention, know those where those bus stops are, and just think safety all the time.
And when you say divided, you mean the oncoming traffic behind the bus has to stop regardless.
So certain areas where there's division in the highway and barriers, like if you're going on 87 North, we have the little where the trees are planted.
Right.
So that's a division, right? And so there, if you come the opposite direction, you don't have to stop for that school bus. But if you're in a different location where there is no division but there's two ways of traffic, then you have to stop approaching the school bus when those lights are activated and the stop sign's activated.
Are you supposed to stay back so far from that school bus?
Oh, we want at least 10 feet. At least 10 feet back from that bus, maybe even a little further. Again, we don't want kids ever crossing behind a school bus, but it could happen. But yeah, give as much room as you can and really pay attention, because again, just because you think and you assume that you know, one kid's gotten off and well, I can go ahead and go. Maybe it's just a little bit of a delay before the next kid could get off.
Right.
So don't ever assume when it comes to school buses. And also at railroad crossings, know that school buses are required to stop. They're going to stop, they're going to check, they're going to listen, and then they're going to go again. So you just got to be paying attention for that.
Right. Is there anything else that people need to know before just driving around out there?
Well, again, know the laws in school zones. Make sure you're not distracted by anything in the vehicle, especially cell phones. There are emergency situations that you can use it, or if you're parked, but we want to avoid that distraction. Be mindful of kids walking to bus stops before and after school. Encourage your kids to know and understand, one, be visible. And two, if you're walking where there's not a sidewalk, you need to walk facing traffic, and just don't be playing out there in the middle of the road.
Right.
So I think I was that kid, you know. So we don't want that, but we definitely want to just think that safety. We don't talk to strangers, and be careful about any content you put out there on social media. You know, advertising. Yeah, we're all back to school, we're happy, but don't give out too much information on where your kid is going to school, your kid's name, the grade, the teacher, all those things. We just don't want to get too much information out there for the wrong hands.
Right. And I guess crosswalks too.
Be wary of crosswalks. Definitely crosswalk. And so we call it the shoulder check. Look left, look right, look left again. You make sure you're looking. You're not just whipping your head back and forth, but we're actually looking for traffic.
Well, there are a couple crosswalks in town where they have those signs saying you must stop for pedestrians crossing, but there are some that don't have that.
Well, and sometimes people will even get relaxed because they pass that section so much and there was nobody crossing, and it becomes routine. Right. This is not the time of year to get fallen into your routines. It's time to think again of the new and be mindful of that. Now, we also have a lot of students that are going to new schools this year because other ones have been shut down. So we want to encourage parents to beforehand go out there, figure out your routes, how long it's going to take so we're not rushing, and give yourself a little extra time this time of year because there is so much change in traffic. So.
You know, all the kids went to San Jacinto here in town because the one school was affected by the earthquakes and everything. So
right, hey,
you have crazy things like that happening.
It's scary times, yeah. Yes, so, but yeah, there are a few other schools that are transitioning to new schools. Right. And so you just got to be mindful of that.
All right. Well, did I miss anything? I
think we're good. I appreciate y'all coming out and talking to us. And again, it's all about safety for the community, for the kids. And we want to have a very safe and happy school year.
All right.
So thank you.
Sergeant Baker, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Cano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Cano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Cano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thanks for watching the Live Daily News Show, the only locally owned news show in the Concho Valley. Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms, and download the San Angelo Live mobile app to stay up to date with news from in and around the Concho Valley. Thanks again, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.